That's a funny looking cigarette. You roll it yourself?
Oh shit, I transitioned a little fast. What's up, guys? We're live. I'm live. ITYH episode 10. We're just gonna give folks a few minutes to filter in here. But how's it going, my good friend Ryan? We've been sitting here waiting to hit the start button for a minute.
I know. I was just a little apprehensive. I wanted to make sure all of this stuff was set up well. So let's see real quick.
No, I think this looks good.
Cool.
Love the background. Love the hard work my man Graf is putting into the production of all of this.
Oh yeah,
we're becoming a real operation here.
Yeah, my what's it called? High school Photoshop level skills. They're coming in handy. I'm used to color correcting and not doing actual like edits or anything like that.
No, dude, it looks so sick. I'm stoked on this. I think everyone's gonna be stoked on this. But what's up with you, man? How's your week been? What's going on?
I haven't had a whole lot going on. I've been kind of just putting a lot of free time into putting my portfolio together and then working on this and kind of planning it out. I what's it called? Left everything I did everything for the stream and setting it up all week, and then last night I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch the episodes and take notes, and that didn't happen. So I called Justin like 2 hours before like we started streaming or whatever, and I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna start watching them now. Like,
I think we were both
in the same
for
boat.
frame of reference, I was like, oh cool, I'm watching it too. That's how we run this show, fast and loose. We want it fresh in our brains so we can deliver the most raw ITYH content to all the fans.
Yeah, no, it was I usually try to make a point of watching it beforehand so I could think of stuff like in between. But yeah, no, today's fast and loose. We got a lot of stuff going on. I see we got 4 whole viewers right now. So
wow,
thank you for stopping in to the
thanks for hanging out, boys.
The first ever I Tell You What live recording.
Yeah, it's very exciting, dude. I'm stoked. I'm stoked we got this running. This is really cool, man.
Yeah, I know. It's, dude, I am no big streamer by any standard, but it is still cool no matter what to just be like, fuck, man, like people are actually watching this. Like, it's a really cool feeling. Also, just having everybody listen to us so far has been really cool and encouraging, dude. Because we do, despite it being fast and loose, like this does take work to put together, and it's cool that people appreciate it.
I'd say on a production week, we're probably putting between the two of us, I don't know, 6-7 hours into an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just this week, but fucking being a couple modelos deep and fucking staring at Photoshop for a couple hours trying to figure out what's gonna look good. But
yeah, no, I also, I mean, I know we're both busy dudes, but I agree just with your analysis earlier, just like taking a dry run on the show and, maybe being a little stoned, a couple modelos deep on the first run. Definitely. That's what produced the game show idea, dude, last time.
Oh yeah, dude. So. I mean, yeah, we did. I like our chill episodes. Our Alamo and chill is always a good time. But yeah, what's been up with you besides work and everything?
Dude, literally nothing. It's such a bummer. Lately, I've kind of just been like planning my schedule down to the hour, which, it's if you got a busy life, maybe not the worst idea to grab yourself a nice planner. I've been working out of one that cooperates with fountain pens and maybe kind of encourages time management a little bit better, because you're like, oh, I like writing in this cool, nice journal I spent money on.
True. No,
but yeah, man,
I'm definitely the same way. I'm like, if I write something down, like I'm 100% way more likely to remember it. Also, oh yeah, but
Nice.
but yeah, it's I'm the exact same way. That's why like I have all of our production notes like in one fucking notebook because I can't type and remember anything.
No, I just can't. I have a hard time keeping up with the episode if I handwrite the notes. I've noticed, but definitely respect the game because I did originally start writing the notes and pivoted to typing stuff. But it's almost 12 p.m. Do you want to get to the meaty potatoy bits of the episode? Give the folks the King of the Hill content they come for and the tangents they stay for.
Yes. Yeah, we can get started. Just for everybody watching, probably this is the stuff we're gonna record and edit for Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. So if you guys
Yeah,
come in and
just a quick note on the live stuff. You guys are going to hear all of the ums, ahs, and oh fuck, where was I's.
yeah,
So that's the benefit of hanging out in here with Twitch. You get to see us be human and sound like idiots and talk over each other.
exactly, yeah. But if you guys come in and say hi during chat, I'll definitely like wave to you and hang out for the rest of the episode, and we're down to hang out and chill afterwards. Just so we don't have to cut out a bunch of stuff. I probably won't be acknowledging it too much, but
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
I'll let you get started, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to get us going with the production notes on the company man?
Yeah. So let's see. So our first episode today is season 2, episode 9, The Company Man. It first aired on December 7th, 1997. It was written by our good friend Jim Dotrieve, the namesake of Bill Dotrieve. And it was directed by Clay Hall, which I had not seen. And I'm pretty sure this is one of the only, like, directing credits for King of the Hill he has, but he had a very, very strange, what's it called, repertoire and, like, portfolio compared to everybody else. He did work on The Simpsons, but he also directed Pixar's Planes, which I thought was, like,
I haven't heard of that one.
it's like a Cars spin-off, but it's
Oh, yeah,
about
you know what? I actually
planes.
remember seeing like ads for that at gas stations when we were like teenagers, yeah.
Yeah, it came out like 2013. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, and then he also directed some like direct to VHS Tinkerbell movie, and then he directed a couple episodes of the animated Garfield and Friends show. But
Fun stuff.
yeah, it's real, like, I don't
Weird
know.
dude.
King of the Hill is just like the outlier in that, I guess, besides Simpsons. But everybody, as we've seen, everybody has worked on Simpsons. Like,
Yeah, dude. That time for adult animation, I just feel like the Simpsons writing room was probably just one of the coolest places, and you can't be surprised that a lot of them ended up doing King of the Hill stuff. 'Cause,
yeah.
you know, you can tell it's a team of like professionals that like care about what they're doing. But
Yeah. And then I
Little
have,
America product.
oh yeah, for sure. I have like just a couple cool things of trivia. This episode is actually the first appearance of Mr. Strickland, I believe.
I think so too.
And I did find out Buck Strickland is voiced by Stephen Root, who is in like every Coen Brothers movie, and also if you guys are Star Wars fans, he was just in the new he's in like the 3rd episode or the 4th episode of the new Boba Fett show, which is pretty fucking killer. If you're a Star Wars fan, I like it a lot. And then let's see, they originally made this episode for season 1 and it didn't get aired, and they put it in season 2, and that's why you can kind of see the animation is like a little more gritty than every other episode in this season.
Yeah, I actually, that was one of the first things I want. So first off, I want to get some thoughts on the show. All right, did you have any other things you want to run through? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, Burt Reynolds was the original voice actor for Thatherton, which I thought was mad fucking funny. They replaced him with
super cool.
Yeah, they replaced him with another voice actor that I'll mention the next time he comes up. And then I didn't get to look up who Billy West is, but that's the voice for Holloway and our Boston friend that comes to Texas. But I don't know who Billy West is. And I'm not gonna look him up right now. So
fast and loose. That's why we're doing it how we're doing it. So, I mean, I think we have a little bit of kind of conflicting opinions on this episode. I thought, I mean, like, it's good. It has good bits in it, but definitely fell a little bit short for me. I do like the theme of the episode of, you know, not all Texans wear cowboy hats.
yeah,
But to me, like, it you know, the first thing I have in my notes is like animation is super weird, feels like season 1, and like I think, you know, even reflecting on it and, you know, you even acknowledging that it was recorded for season 1, like it checks out. You know, the characters feel a little less developed. Everything feels a little bit kind of more gritty. Even the animation looks like very different from the previous episode.
yeah. No, it's what's it called? Like, you can definitely tell that it was made for season 1. Like, it's like almost even the like you can hear it in like Mike Judge's voice still too, that he hasn't like completely landed on like Hank's whole voice yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered this episode and I've always kind of liked it, just because it is that, like, it's such a good how do you want to say it, just like juxtaposition of some, or like the Bostonian dude living up to every like Northeast city folk like stereotype, and then like Hank just trying to be like, I just want to sell you propane and get this over with, you know.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, like, I feel like we end up doing this in the show quite a bit. It you know, it shows that people maybe stereotype Texans a little bit, and, you know.
Oh, I mean, I'll go
again. I really love the theme on this.
Yeah, I'll go on record. I love Texas. I've been there a bunch of times. My grandma's from there. There's like so much more cool shit than there are bad things about it. But, you know, the idiots in the room scream the loudest, so that's what everybody's gonna think. But
yeah,
Texas
totally
is
agree.
Killer. So let's get into the company man. I could have put that differently.
Yeah, Graf's about to get inside of the company man.
Yes, me and Holloway are going at it, but we start off after the intro with what's it called, at Strickland, and this is like actually the first appearance, like I said, of Strickland and Strickland Propane. And we're in Hank's office. Bobby is writing an essay for his Sunday school class about who he admires most, and he decides to do it about his dad, which is mad sweet.
Yeah, that's wholesome as hell.
Yeah. And then we get Buck Strickland walking in, and first appearance. So he comes in, basically gives Bobby the key to the Salvation Army gumball machine. And he's like, go crazy, all you can eat. And then he's like, Hank, I gotta have a conversation with you in the back.
Yeah, and I love how they're having this meeting in the bathroom, and it's so, I don't know, it's so interesting for like Hank as a character, because all of his social norms completely go out the window when it comes to propane. Under any other circumstance, and Hank would be disgusted at the idea of being in the bathroom while someone is taking a shit.
Yeah, there's a whole fucking episode about it.
Exactly. Now you have Buck taking a shit, and he's you know, he's ready to wipe his ass.
Yeah. And I just think they they were pretty clever about doing the whole flashback. So
Hmm.
basically, during the meeting, Strickland tells Hank that he's got a big client coming in from Boston to sell him on the new housing development that he's building to
They're trying
use.
to get propane installed in some big development,
Yeah.
basically. It's a big client.
So Buck gives him a rental caddy and $100, and Hank is just like, I'm I'm a great salesman. I don't need that shit. I've
Yeah.
done it. I've done it the same way for years. Typical
Hubris. The
typical
hubris
Hank.
of Hank.
And then Buck Strickland brings up MF Fatherton, and then I forgot about his like little electric guitar sting. Like it's like Fatherton, ding ding, fucking. But yeah, and we get a flashback in the same bathroom, and it's like
Yeah.
10 years ago or whatever, probably even more than that. And they're having a meeting while Buck's taking a shit, and Fatherton's just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna start my own company, and I'm taking Strickland's biggest three clients with me. And more or less, we see Fatherton just being like, Hank, you're a worker. You got no ambition. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be
and,
here in 20 years, and it
and
just fades back into present day. He's still in the bathroom having a meeting with Buck while he's taking a shit.
yeah, yeah. And I love, I don't know if you picked up on it. There's some dialogue from Buck in the beginning of that flashback that's, sorry to call a meeting of the Skunk Works boys. I promise not to make a habit of it.
And
And
then,
meanwhile, 20 years
yeah,
later, we have Hank, like I said, ready to basically wipe the ass of Buck Strickland. But you know what? He's a salesman at heart. He's doing what he thinks is right, and good for Hank. He's keeping it honest. He's not fucking putting propane in the oxygen tanks at an old folks home like
yeah.
Fatherton would.
I would. I was gonna mention. I wrote down that quote, but I skipped over it. Like that was too funny. But so basically, right after we finish up the Skunk Works meeting, we move to outside of Strickland Propane, and Hank gets his sweet Texas pimp caddy. It's got the fucking
Bull horns on the
bull
front.
horns on the front. Its horn plays the yellow flower of Texas when you honk it. It's crazy. And then
Yeah, and
I
he was
believe
he was talking to Peg as well after, right?
he might have skipped that.
Yeah, so he drives the caddy home, and he's looking like a baller in it. And one thing I think is like kind of interesting to view this episode today, right? Is like they're like making a big deal out of the like blown up $100 bill that's like more counterfeit proof or whatever.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, like you can't even find the old $100 bill anymore these days.
I know. I was gonna
That
say
show really showed the stage there.
now they're all blue and plastic.
Hmm. So yeah, Hank is going back and forth with Peg, and he's basically saying, when have I ever needed a three figures salary to close a propane deal? He's again, the hubris of Hank here is he just thinks he can close deals with a slice of pie, coffee, and a handshake. And
That
boy,
that
does he have another thing coming.
I wish we had a 3-figure budget. That would be sick. But
We have like maybe a one figure budget,
exactly. But
negative budget.
right after he's talking to Peggy, we cut outside to the alley gang. We got the caddy parked out back, and I believe Dale's sitting in the passenger seat, and even Con's out there with Boomhauer and Bill, just looking at Hank's gaudy ass rental car.
Yeah, they're checking
And
it out, man. They're into it.
yeah, dude, and basically just ends with them like trying to make fun of him for his faux Texan big shot salesman act.
And I love Hank's line here at the end where he's like, get off the car. I got to return this pimp mobile in the same condition. And like, I feel like that is maybe the most like sound clippable bit of Hank you could ever like pull out, is just him referring to a vehicle as a pimp mobile.
I will say that I was watching this episode with my roommate Greg, who later on we're gonna listen to some of his music a little bit later in the show. But what's it called? Me and my roommate Greg were watching this right before we recorded, and we noticed that they say "I tell you what" in this episode like 30 fucking times. I was just like, God, I gotta go through and like clip all that so we can just like make a super cut of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's, and that's also maybe a little bit clear that it was recorded for season one. You know, they're really trying to get the catch lines in there, and um, they maybe just were leaning on that harder than like clever dialogue at this point,
Oh
right?
yeah. But what's it called? After he shoos the alley gang away from his pimp mobile, we get them going to pick up the Halloways from the airport. We get a good line from Hank where he's like, Peggy asks him what the Halloways are gonna look like, and he's like, he's gonna be one of them Boston types wearing penny loafers and shit. Yeah, I was like, oh my god. But
I do kind of like the like two-way like street, like at least like from a theme perspective of this, where it's like the Texan thinks the East, or the folks from the East, the Yankees, whatever you want to call them, are going to be weird and douchey and, you know, New Yorky.
but they
Uh,
also, I mean, everybody in Texas, like in the show, seems to like give them the benefit of the doubt, where Holloway will see kind of is just a dick no matter what.
yeah, exactly. He's just not a dick in the way that they thought he would be a dick,
Yeah.
right?
So then
It's interesting.
enters we got Mr. Holloway and Mrs. Holloway. And Mrs. Holloway dressed like a normal, respectable middle-aged lady, maybe business lady. She's got the power suit. But Mr. Holloway has got a 10-gallon hat, a fucking vest, and a denim jacket on already, like straight off the plane. And what's it called? They pick him up.
He thinks he's gonna be getting like the full cowboy experience. You
Yeah.
know, like this is clearly a man who really hasn't been outside of his bubble.
Yeah, he thinks
Um,
there's a hitching post outside of the airport. Like they're gonna go get in a fucking wagon.
yeah, exactly. They end up going back to the Hill residence, and I love that like in classy, or in like classy middle America format, where like they understand the concept of hot towels, but like maybe don't understand how to fucking do it. It looks like Peggy either like heated up some warm towels on a gas range, which is seems dangerous, or like maybe just threw them in the dryer, but she's like passing like bath towels out with like tongs, which is just
Yeah,
like,
the full
I don't
full
know, super
size
silly.
the full size bath towels. I was gonna say the same thing. It seemed like, because earlier Hank was like, "I got this, Peggy. I don't need anything," and Peggy was just like, "All right," doing her own thing. Like looked up on her dial-up computer, like what seemed fancy for a business meeting, and
I
even
can't wait until we meet the Peggy dial-up computer too, because like she has it in like a literal, like she has her office, which is a literal fucking closet,
it's a
which
closet
is
with
like
a
just
hot water heater.
yeah, it's so sad.
But yeah, the my favorite part is when Holloway is just like, "Man, everything's bigger in Texas. These are Texas-size hot towels." And then right after that, we get Hank just basically going into his salesman speech, which I don't know if Mike Judge did it on person or purpose, but he did a really good job of making Hank sound mad boring when he was doing his dialogue. Like such a
Even go ahead, sorry.
such a rehearsed sounding like script, like Hank has said this thing verbatim for like 10 years, as
Yeah,
someone who's
you're
done.
talking to a textbook.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as someone who's done sales, like you get like that, and I don't know, if somebody would have recorded me talking at my sales job and played it back to me, I would have probably had like a fucking mental breakdown, like hearing myself say
Yeah.
that like that. But
No, and I do the same thing on the phone with my job, because I'm more or less a, I don't know, I call people for COVID stuff, and it's like the same spiel over and over again. But I think even the animation here like really conveys how fucking boring he is. You get like this like weird like grunting kind of like face
Yeah,
from Hank when he like
he's very stuck or
um
like I don't know, very like rigid and like trying to be
yeah.
professional, robotic. But yeah, so basically Holloway is bored as fuck by that.
Hmm.
So
He
um
wants some real Texas shenanigans.
yeah, so what's it called? Hank pulls out the big guns and they go down to the diner in Arlen to get some apple pie. And this
Made
is,
with propane.
yeah, made with propane. He's going into this spiel again. And they get their apple pie and everything. He's explaining to Bobby that the ice cream comes if there's problems. That's how you seal the deal. And as soon as Holloway gets back, he's bored again, playing with the blinds. Decides to call Hank Jr. from Dallas. And the amount of times that Dallas has been referenced in this show makes me want to like watch it so I have some sort of frame of reference. But all I know is it's like,
I'm guessing like one of the Fox, like it had to be airing on Fox at the time, and
well,
one
it
of the
was like,
Fox execs were like,
I know
you
it's like
gotta
an
plug Dallas.
80s Texas drama, like a soap opera type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't.
Interesting.
I should ask my grandma about it. She definitely will probably watch that shit at some point.
Yeah,
But
my mom or dad definitely know.
but just when what's it called? Just when Hank is pretty much losing Holloway's attention, we pan or see in the background Thatherton turn around and approach them. And he introduces,
MF Satherton.
yeah, introduces himself as MF Thatherton, and Hank is about to break character and curse right out in front of Bobby and everything. He's about to be like, the MF stands for motherfucker, but Thatherton breaks in. He's like, stands for my friend.
Yep, yep. And we meet Thatherton the Snake for the first time. And is he voiced by Burt Reynolds in this
he,
episode?
this is the only episode that he's voiced by Burt Reynolds. After
But
this,
that's still pretty cool. I until you said that, I didn't even think about it. He almost kind of looks like Burt Reynolds. Like, I
yeah,
wonder if they drew the character to him.
and that's the thing that, like, after I found out that this episode was made for season 1 and didn't air until, or they didn't play it until season 2, it makes sense that this is the first appearance of Thatherton and Strickland. What's it called? I used to do Hank. That's dope. But we what's it called? I totally lost where I was going. Shit.
It's all good.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so we have Thatherton approach, and he does his snaky bit trying to steal some business from Hank. And I love Hank's description of Thatherton, the only man to ever be censured by the Texas Propane Salesman Association. Such silly stuff, dude. I don't know. Like, of course, he's the guy who like literally knows all of the audits and all of the like, bylines of the Texas Propane Association.
yeah,
And
I
like
was
that's his glaring like, this guy's a bad dude. The Texas Propane Association doesn't fuck with him.
dude, yeah, also like what do you have to do for the Texas Propane Board or Association to censure you? Like you're not getting kicked out, but you're just not going to be put down on record anymore? Like what kind of
Yeah.
weird infraction do you not just get kicked out?
I was thinking about this too. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe he was being rowdy at meetings. I can see Thatherton showing up drunk, getting like naked and weird, maybe like being a little misogynistic, touching some like assistant's butt or something like that.
Or just organizing a meeting at Jug Store Cowboys, which we will come back to later.
Yeah, and I so like Holloway, is really into Thatherton because Thatherton leans on the cheesy Texan kind of vibes. He knows what he's getting into, but also like maybe he is just that kind of like trashy. I'll do whatever it takes to get a sale, and even if it means like leaning very hard to a gimmick. And Holloway tells Bobby while he's still taking notes for his Sunday school paper, Bobby, you can tell your Sunday school class you met a real Texan today, MF Thatherton, which must really hurt that Hank.
I know Hank didn't even like care to comment on that part.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god. So let's see.
We have Hank.
I do want to mention.
Holloway to. Sorry.
I do want to mention real quick before we leave the diner, the waitress's name, Joe Tiffany, is like the most Texan first. Like, of course, she's a waitress at a diner in Arlen, like serving apple pie to people.
Pie.
Just Joe Tiffany seems so nice. But...
Yeah, you always want to be waited on by a Joe Tiffany.
For sure.
So we get Hank taking Holloway to his next exciting Hank excursion. Like, Hank is so tone deaf, particularly when it comes to propane. I think it's like a very endearing quality as a character, because I feel like a lot of people can maybe even see that in themselves. Like, sometimes you get very nerdy with your thing, and like people maybe appreciate it at first, but you can't just only talk about the thing,
Yeah.
So he takes Holloway to the propane crossroads. It's the only place you can straddle the east and west pipelines, and Holloway is like, what the fuck is this?
So I have a short personal personal anecdote about literally this part of Texas that I think this is based on. I had a shoot that I had to do for a ranch, and I believe it was Guerrero, Texas. I could be wrong. It was super small town. Like, in like their population sign, when you're driving into it, it is 50 miles away from pretty much every other town. Like, it's crazy.
Almost a little scary.
Yeah, but I mean, it was cool. I had some killer ass Mexican food, but it is in like the dead center of Texas, and there is nothing out there but hills and grass. There's not even trees, and it is like rough country out there. Like, there is nothing. It's just barren. So like, I feel Holloway at a certain point doing this, because I've driven through that area, and it is just like, it's cool, but it is like the least exciting place in the world. You're
calling the propane crossroads the least exciting place in the world, Graph? I would kill to visit the propane crossroads.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, the I don't know. I would go for that. I'll go anywhere once. I've
just for the novelty of saying I've been to the propane
propane
crossroads are real. I think this is a bit, but
I've gone on record saying that I'll go anywhere once, but I will just to give Holloway, to play devil's advocate, I'll give Holloway the benefit of the doubt, because it is just desolate out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally. So we have Holloway's reaction to this, which is like, he's such a like weird, deranged Yankee that he's like, JR, I want to buy a 6-shooter, which is like, he's so bored he wants to go buy a cowboy gun, which is just like, I don't know, it's kind of silly, I guess. But
I think
also,
he
like,
just hoped that like the trip would devolve into him like buying a gun at some point. Like, he knew, he knew that was going to come at some point. He was like, everybody in Texas has a gun. They hand them out at the fucking airport when you get here.
And in a sense, they do. I think it's like one of the like few like open carry states with like no repercussions on it.
Yeah.
In any case, so we have a cut to Peg making some lovely Texan classic food. Frito pie, dude. Oh my gosh. I've been wanting to make Frito pie for a minute.
Shout out to Granny, my grandmother from Texas. I've been eating Frito pie since I was like a little kid, dude. Holy shit, it is so good. Like, that made me so nostalgic. And later we get Peggy's Frito pie made with Wolf brand chili. But my grandma's better than that. She made the chili from scratch, so it's made with love.
Yeah, dude, I 100% will be making Frito pie, having watched that recently. But my grandma actually made Frito pie a couple times as well. I think my aunt did once or twice. But good God, I do love some Frito pie. But we have like a little bit of a bonding sequence between Peg and Miss Holloway, where they're sharing some Frito pie together, which is super cool.
Yeah, and I didn't notice it because I watched this episode like last week before we did our last episode. I was finishing watching it. I was like, fuck it, I'll watch another episode of King of the Hill. Why not? I didn't notice it, but this comes back later with Mrs. Holloway. She's like, it's spicy. Be careful. You know, this Frito pie isn't for the faint of heart. Which I don't know if it's actually like spicy or just really heavy on the stomach. And Miss Holloway is just not used to it. But yeah, we do get that little cute moment with both of them, and Miss Holloway is just like, you don't have to make a fuss over me. Like, we're just hanging out. And she's like, I'm being myself. That's the only gal I know how to be, which is like probably the most genuine Peggy quote like that there is. She is narcissistic. Her most
redeemable trait, but like she does lean very hard into herself.
I was gonna say she might be a narcissist, and she might be have a very high opinion of herself, but at least she is genuine,
And we get a hard cut back to Hank and Mr. Holloway driving the caddy through the area they're supposed to be developing Holloway mansions, right? And we have him basically asking about the suicide rate in the area, which is like
I thought that was
freaking weird.
I thought that was funny because that is like definitely like like a city person's humor, because like I don't know, I've like have friends in New York who've seen people like die on the subway, and it's just like you kind of just have to keep going, like the city doesn't stop for that. But in like Texas, that's like, oh my God, Joe Bob shot himself, like it's news of the town.
Yeah.
But
so I also like in the hard cut, we just have Holloway instantly saying, I asked you nicely to buy me a gun. He's just like, he's really just gone like full blown child. Like I want the Texas theme park experience at this point.
He's bored out of his mind. Like he's got zero desire to be here, even at like his property, the development that he's making. I also like the fact that once he calls Hank out for his not wearing cowboy boots, Hank looks over and Thatherton's moved quick and put up a billboard for Thatherton Fuels at the development site. So you get Hank, I know I'm doing this for the stream and not for the actual podcast, but you get Hank kind of trying to pose in front of the billboard so Holloway doesn't see it. But this is the turning point. This is when Hank just decides that he's got to play it up and he's got to get this count. So he starts.
You got to be a cowboy if you want to make the sale.
So he starts telling Holloway a story about how his uncle lost his cowboy boots in a tornado and died, or in a Texas-sized twister and died, and he gave his boots to his uncle because no cowboy can be buried without his boots. Which I've never fucking...
Cowboy code.
Yeah, take all of my shit when I die. Leave me naked in a hole. Like, I don't need it anymore. I don't...
Yeah, I don't know if you picked up on this too. This is another glaring instance where it's like, oh shit, this is 100% a season 1 episode, because Holloway looks away during this one sequence, and I think the animators may have had like a budget issue or something, but like his mouth isn't moving when he's talking, and it's like, if you pay attention, it's kind of obvious, but I don't
Whose
know,
mouth wasn't moving?
The anime, Holloway's.
Damn.
Like he looks away to talk, and you can see like the corner of his mouth, and words are coming out, but the mouth isn't moving.
True. I feel like, yeah, that, I don't know. I know that is a common animation trick. That's why like every anime you like or watch has
yeah.
Well, there's usually like a character that has a mask on or something over their mouth
True.
because they save
Yeah.
so much money on not animating like the lip sync and everything. But yeah, so now
And
Hank
we
it
got chat popping off. I know we said we're not going to acknowledge chat, but we actually
yeah,
have some homies hanging out in here. What's up, boys?
I know. We'll take a quick break and say hi. We got Jake, George. What's up, guys? I'm super happy that you guys made it. And then we had Chris Musante, who said he used to do a Hank impression on his radio station in Illinois called Willie Rock Radio. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming in and telling us all about that, Chris. I am gonna DM you
Yeah.
because he said he would do a Hank impression for us. So,
That'd be tight.
but yeah, like thank you guys for coming in. Like we have
Love you.
we have exponentially more viewers right now than I thought we would. So fuck yeah, thank you guys.
So, we also, after this kind of interaction between Hank and Holloway, we get a cut back to Peggy and Miss Holloway still hitting it off. Peggy is doing her weird shit, but she's just as much as Hank leans into himself in this episode. Peggy leans into herself, taking Miss Holloway to the home of Ogden Nash, this like weird poet she's obsessed with. Who Miss Holloway also happens to be obsessed with, excuse me.
Yeah, the what's it called? Fuck. I wish I would have written down the poem. It was like the cow is something of the bovine kind, like
Yeah,
one.
one end is moo, the other milk.
The cow is an animal of the bovine ilk. One end is moo, the other is milk. I was like, what?
Yeah. Such a Texas poem, but I think Miss Holloway like maybe gets Texas significantly more than her husband. It's weird that like they even end up being a couple. Peggy should have been the one really selling the propane. Is at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, at least the Holloway. She would have been at Drugstore Cowboys like throwing bills to get that deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Strickland would probably be there spending it anyways, so like why not? But what's it called? So I believe after we get Peggy and Miss Holloway hanging out, having their little poetry road trip around Arlen, we're at the Western store with Holloway and Hank is just giving in to fake cowboy land and getting himself some cowboy boots, a 10-gallon hat, and a real lasso. And
Yeah, I love how the fucking store clerk like actually recommends Birkenstocks to Hank, which like conceptually the idea of Hank Hill wearing Birkenstocks is just really fucking funny to me.
we
You know?
that's what we
Someone
need.
should draw that up.
That's what we need in the reboot is old Hank wearing Birkenstocks.
You might have wised up. They're comfortable.
But what's it called? And then in comes John Redcorn and Boomhauer, who at first I was like, why are they hanging out? But then I'm also like, Boomhauer and John Redcorn would definitely hang out. I feel like they're probably like homies.
Yeah, sharing techniques and such.
Yes.
Both players.
For migraines. But we, in typical Boomhauer fashion, he walks in and immediately starts roasting Hank. But Holloway, in a slightly insensitive and racist remark, is like, wow, real Indian and a redneck.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was just like, oh my god. Immediately, like now,
different time.
well, no, this is them showing Holloway is not a good character. Like he is supposed to be a dumb piece of shit. But
yeah, for sure.
What's it called? And then he can't even understand Boomhauer making fun of him after he says that. It's so goddamn funny. Every time there's a Boomhauer voice joke, doesn't get old for me. I love it.
Yeah, truly doesn't, dude. I don't know. Boomhauer is. I know he's your favorite, but like he's every fucking character. We should do a ranking one of these days because every one of these characters are so good.
Yeah,
that might be a fun stream sesh one of these days.
Ooh, good idea. Somebody clip that, so we have to make sure we do it. But so after that, I think, let's see.
Yeah, we have Peg and Hank kind of discussing Hank's sales tactics. And
Yeah.
Peg is maybe being a little bit critical. Understandably so. Holloway's kind of a dick. His business is probably not worth it. And we also have Bobby admitting that he's having a really hard time. He's essentially been like the minutes guy for like all of these interactions.
He's
'cause we
me
have Bud-
right now. He's me.
Yeah.
He's us watching these episodes. He's just sitting there with a little
Exactly.
pad.
Having a hard time keeping the story straight. Yeah, for sure.
100%.
But yeah, it's kind of starting to show that Hank is maybe being a little dishonest to himself, dishonest to the situation, and everyone is kind of starting to call him out for it a little bit. And we also have a sequence of Miss Holloway walking in on Bobby and Luann eating some cold Frito pie, and it made her very sick, unfortunately, apparently.
Yeah, she could not handle the Wolf Brand chili and Frito chip combination.
Sensitive Eastern stomachs.
Yes,
Mayo is spicy to them.
she's more of a clam chowder woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no. Next, we're getting ready for dinner for them, the Hills, to take out what's called the Holloways to dinner and show them a good time. And Hank is just leaning into the real Texan vibe and tells Peggy to change out of her power business suit and change into some weird fucking Texas uniform, basically. I actually found out it's the same uniform that the Rangerettes from some college in Texas wear. Like, she's basically dressed like a cheerleader. And then the restaurant that they go to, there's actually a restaurant in Amarillo, Texas that does a 72-ounce steak challenge. But you have to pay for it in advance, and they refund you if you can eat it in the entire time. Which makes sense.
I'm sure. I'm also sure they're not the only place.
Yeah.
72-ounce steak challenge.
That's,
but yeah, it is
72 ounces is fucking insane, though, bro.
Yeah, that is days of constipation for a free meal. It's not a good time.
Nah, dude. I enjoy my red meats, but no, thank you, not that much.
Yeah, I do love me a good morning shit. You know, plenty of fiber.
Or having the option for a good morning shit.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to. No one likes being backed up. Let me tell you, I'm a big. You know what? It's an awkward subject, but I'm a big proponent of rectal health, people. This is a PSA. Get yourself a bidet. Get yourself a squatty potty and eat plenty of fiber. All right. No one likes hemorrhoids. It's a bad fucking time. All right. Flip that.
But the one interaction we do get, besides Holloway ordering the 72-ounce steak, taking one bite of it, and then telling him he's done, like he's not going to finish the steak, and that like mortally wounding Hank's soul. We get a quick interaction with the Gribbles and the Holloways, and unfortunately Nancy doesn't say anything, but Dale is just grilling Holloway about like some sort of fucking Northeast like Democratic scandal of the time or some shit that I did not have the time to look up, but I thought it was funny that they slipped Dale in there real quick to give him shit.
Yeah,
because
I didn't even pick up on that. I just kind of noted that like Dale and Nancy were making fun of the situation.
Yeah, I also do think that I think earlier in the episode they mention it. Hank, when they come in, Hank's like, "This is our dog, Ladybird. He's named after Lyndon B. Johnson's wife," and he's like, "Your Johnson killed my Kennedy." And it was, if you know anything about the Kennedy assassination, it's pretty fucking true. But
LBJ was really stoked when Kennedy croaked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Look, the Federal Service is a very incompetent agency, and I never doubt the incompetency of them. And they probably blew JFK's brains out on accident. LBJ was like sick. Quick summation of the Kennedy assassination.
So, off the cuff of conspiracy talk in the conspiracy corner, we finish up dinner after our massacre of a beautiful steak in front of the hills and an insane dinner bill. And we get Peggy driving Holloway and Hank over to Jug Store Cowboys, which is such a fucking good name for a strip club. But
we should open one.
yes. But it is, and they go, and Holloway runs inside immediately, and Hank's sitting there just being like, "Hey, Peggy, I figured you'd be mad." And she's just like, I don't think they even move her animation still. It's just her, like, looking away, like, pissed off, like, standing completely still the entire scene. But he has to ask her for money, and he's like, "Can I even get some ones to put in the G string?" And then she throws the money out of the car and peels off.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm surprised Peggy even let this go down. No,
Yeah.
like, I would think she would step in.
Not-
Hank is an honest propane salesman. He doesn't need to go to no strip club to make a sale.
For sure. Not even to mention the fact that while they were at dinner, the fucking dress and outfit that Hank picked out for Peggy was pretty much the same as the waitress outfit at the restaurant. So she was over it by then. I think she just wanted to get out. But
yeah, he's leaning a little too hard into his dishonesty to his character to make the sale. Peggy is really bummed about it.
She's upset, understandably.
So we have Hank and Holloway in the strip club here, and Holloway is just getting more and more dickish. He insists that Hank order him a mint julep, and at this point we have
Hank kind of break real quick.
Yeah, we have fucking Hank bonding with a stripper, and I think he's maybe feeling a little bit like he's feeling a little used, you know, not that we have any sort of issue with sex work here, but like it doesn't seem like the stripper really wants to be stripping, and Hank doesn't want to be paraded around in the way that he's being paraded around.
I will say though, at least Siobhan is her name. At least she's making 6 figures a year, and that even hurts Hank's pride more. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, Siobhan, get that shit. You can go retire.
Get your bag.
Yeah, but
pay for your porn, boys.
Yeah, it's so sad to see Hank just like holding a mint julep, and then even before he's just like, "You got your stereotypes all wrong. Mint julep's not even a Texas drink." Like,
and he gets back to the table, and Holloway's actually being a dick again about the drink, saying there's no tomato juice or clamato juice and fucking vodka. He wanted a Bloody Mary, like
a red drink.
Dude, yeah, at this point, Holloway is just
it's
like
just hammered.
The dickest,
he's
the
wasted.
dickest of dicks. Yeah, exactly.
And then we get approached by Fatherton again right after this, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, like, there's a stripper, like, you know, Hank is still trying to pitch the sale and is out, and Hank ends out calling just Dick and Holloway him, and in the most badass Hank Hill way, Holloway throws a punch at him, and he just, bam, catches it.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, fist in hand. He's like, I'm not
This
gonna
isn't a
fight you.
John Wayne movie, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, catches his hand, and then immediately Fatherton runs over in a John Wayne impersonation. He's like, "I'll fight you, Pilgrim," and punches him straight in the face. And then him and Holloway and the rest of the bar proceed to have a all-out brawl while Hank leaves quickly.
Yeah, and you know, obviously Hank doesn't make the sale. Fatherton gets it in the scummy way, but I don't know. Sales and capitalism are kind of whack, so like. Clearly, Hank made the right call here.
I will clarify. I did some more digging about this episode. So apparently, if you got the box set of season 2, there are deleted scenes, and the original cut of this episode shows that Mrs. Holloway is actually the account holder and the property owner, and she awards the business to Strickland because of Peggy and not because of Mr. Holloway and Hank. So there was a good ending, but they cut it out for some reason.
Interesting. I think they should have. I think that's
It
that's
just
canon in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that like Hank is just fuck it, I'm gonna stand up for my principles. But I thought that was funny that they made like a whole scene explaining that and then like left it out.
Hmm. But the close of the episode is basically Bobby talking up his dad, and just being like sweet at church. Aside from the little bit where he mentioned his father being a Mexican POW survivor,
And that Hank was or Bobby was fathered by another man while he was in prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, good resolution to
some
that.
super wholesome stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like it closes out really well. Like I said, to me, like there are some like funny bits in this episode, but I don't know, feels very season one to me. I think everyone knows at this point how we feel about season one is like the heavy hitters kind of come after. It's a lot of
Yeah.
setup. They're still kind of getting their footing.
But I overall I enjoyed that episode. I thought it was pretty funny. But you are right. There's
It's not a bad episode by any stretch, and we're gonna say this a million times. The worst King of the Hill episode is still pretty fucking good television.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I'd still watch Hank's Unmentionable Problem over like 90% of the other shows I watch. Like,
Exactly. So
but
before we dive into Bobby Slam, would we be okay to take like a short 5-minute break for folks? Maybe check in with chat.
yeah,
Take a leak.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go grab a beer, but you go leak and I will talk to chat real quick.
All right, we will be right back, friends.
Yo, we have like 13 people watching, and I am so stoked about that. Like, you guys are fucking awesome, dude. Like, straight up have not had this many viewers on my this is like my personal streaming channel. Like, I stream like once or twice a week on it, but this is cool as shit, dude. Thank you guys so much. I don't want to be that guy, but if you can hit that follow button, that'd be super sick. But we're gonna try to do this like once a week, so I have it on my schedule on my channel and everything. But hell yeah, thank you. Oh hey beef, thank you, a huge Miss Jake and George Brandon. I know all you guys in real life, but thank you for fucking hanging out and watching. That is cool as shit. Have you guys seen any of these episodes? Yes? No? Answers in the chat. Yeah? No? Huh? But first time I was invited. This is the first time we're doing it, Jake. Like, this is the first time we've streamed it. Every time we've done it before. Oh, not the one I'm talking about. Oh, okay. But yeah, this is the first time we're streaming the podcast, so yeah. Now this next one I don't remember seeing or like watching more. I've seen it before, but I've seen like every episode, but yeah, this part of season 2 I didn't watch too much, like, but I'm gonna keep building it up and keep saying that like the end of season 2, last episode, and then the first episode of season 3 is like one of my favorite 2-parter episodes that they do, and I'm so stoked to talk about it. But Jake, I am finishing my first beer. I am very full of cold brew, so I'm trying to take my first beer slow. After we finish talking about the next episode and we're just hanging out and shit, I'll probably pour myself a little thing of whiskey, because we're gonna be or I'm gonna be playing D&D. I'll probably stream that too. Might just make this a long ass day of streaming, because I usually stream our D&D games anyways. But yeah, so real quick, while Justin is coming back, I'm gonna go get myself a beer real quick. We'll be right back. One sec.
What's up, boys? Looks like Graf just walked away. So great timing for me to check in with everybody. Oh. How's everyone doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? Vibing. How many? Dude, I'm only on my second. I got work meetings and shit after this. I can't get too tossed.
Yeah. No, I was just explaining the. Well, I mean, I could. I'm just like vibrating out of my skin on cold brew right now, so.
Yeah,
I was just
fucking beer right after coffee, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely the working man's speedball. But
yeah, Ryan, you got to start boofing some alcohol to make this stream a little more interesting.
no, no. All right, Jake, that's beer 2. Beer 2 for you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, brother.
But
yeah. So, do we want to dive into Bobby Slam?
Bobby Slam, yeah. So this is Bobby Slam Season 2, Episode 10. It originally aired on December 14th, 1997. It was directed by Chris Moeller, who I couldn't really find a whole lot about. He directed a bunch of episodes of the Felix the Cat and his Twisted Tales animated show, which I don't think ran for very long. And then he also like seemed to direct and help create this weird early 2000s like CGI tween demographic kids show called Tripping the Rift, which I had never heard about. It looked like what's I almost said Dot Hack, but that's not it. What's the Reboot? You remember Reboot? The like okay. Anyways, Reboot was like a 3D, really terribly animated, like early 2000s, 90s kids show or whatever. It was in the same vein. Okay, Jake knows Trip of the Rift. But yeah, that's all I have for him. I really couldn't find much about it. It just looked weird as shit.
I mean, like at the end of the day, these guys are all working professionals, like as much as they are like artists. Like,
oh, dude, I mean,
they got to put food on the table. You know, you get it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, dude. Like yo, especially if that was something he was working on. I'm not trying to trash it. I didn't look into it. I was just like, damn, that's crazy that he went from this to this. I will say this episode is directed and written by two people that really kind of missed the mold, because they never worked on Simpsons. Neither of these people. Which brings me to, it was written by Gina Fattore, I think. She was a writer on Gilmore Girls, big writer for Dawson's Creek and Californication. And like I said, neither of these people worked on Simpsons from what I could see. And it's just crazy that she wrote this one episode of King of the Hill, and then the rest of her career and portfolio is all live action stuff. That's so like just like funny to me.
Production's production, man.
Yeah. But that's all I got for that. You want to bring us into the episode proper?
Yes. Dude, I love this episode. I think this is I mean, like I'll say this a lot because I love a lot of King of the Hill, but this is a heavy hitter for me. I do have like I think this was like maybe like the first or second episode on one of the like episode discs, because I feel like I've watched it a bunch of times.
True.
Feels super familiar to me. Do you have any thoughts on the episode initially you want to get out of the way before we dive into the content?
I will say that it's kind of like the opposite of last episode, where I haven't seen this one a bunch of times. I remember it, but it's like a good episode. I'm a big fan of any time that there's like a Bobby and Connie centric episode. Another shout out to my roommate Greg, who's watching these episodes with me before we recorded.
Yeah.
He did not know that, like, until we'll skip to when they're at school and shit, that Connie was actually named Con Jr. because they wanted a son, and then just named her Con Jr. anyways and call her Connie as a nickname. And he,
Yeah.
dude, every time that joke hits, I'm like, yes, you know the lore.
Yeah. So we have a major wrestling episode here, and also just more proof in the pudding that King of the Hill is way ahead of its time, fucking popularizing wrestling when, it's getting pretty big with like the indie kids now. Like there's like indie wrestling shows and shit. So
Yeah, no, shout out to, I know Brandon's watching, but he has a Instagram, hey, what's in there, but he's big into that wrestling shit, man. I want to go to a match with him real bad. It seems like it would be
sounds like a good
fun
time,
as
man.
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have an open of Bobby and Connie being gamers. They're playing a wrestling game. Connie's a little. We got some foreshadowing going. We got Connie kind of being like, "Is there any girl wrestlers in this game?" And Bobby's like, "No, but some of the older ones have breasts," and it's just like, kind of missing the mark of what Connie's looking for there. And we have Peg just being the cool ass mom across the street covering for Connie.
You're wrestling with some word problems.
Yeah. So the Supernusophones give the Hill residents a shout, just trying to see if Connie's doing her homework. And of course, in Hill fashion, she's just having a good time with Bob.
100%.
We have this really cool interaction where Connie goes home to get some homework done, and it's just like this cute Bobby Connie like preteen love they got going on, where Bobby holds up a little etch a sketch. It's like, hey, what's the answer to number one? And Connie, like being the nerd she does, puts a big E on her computer screen, tilts it through the window. They're like talking through the window together, which is just like, I don't know, man. That's some good character building.
And then
like
he calls her on the house phone and says thank you at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I could think about was like, I will do asterisks, boomer moment asterisks, but the romance and the comedy in this interaction is totally lost when you put an iPhone into everybody's hand,
I know, it really is. It almost makes you a little nostalgic.
Yeah.
But
a little.
Not hugely, just a smidge.
Yeah. All of my awkward moments of my preteens were spent on AOL Instant Messenger, so nostalgia hard for this.
So we have the next cut is to Peggy receiving a phone call, and I don't know if you picked up on this or not, but it is very, very clearly Johnny Hardwick, the voice of Dale Gribble.
Really?
Calling in, calling in Peggy to be a sub here. And he's not really hiding it. Like, it literally does sound almost exactly like Dale, basically saying, hey, we don't have a girls sports team coach.
We forgot about him.
Yeah. Kind of tying into the theme of this episode of maybe girls sports being ignored a little bit. So we have a sequence of the Hill family in the Hill kitchen hanging out, getting ready for their day, and Peggy lets Hank know that she's going to be teaching. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Patriarchy. We have Peggy letting Hank know that she's gonna be teaching girls gym, and Hank's immediate response here, I love it, is gym is where a boy learns teamwork and the importance of winning. And once he finds out that it's actually just for girls, he's just kind of a patriarchal dick about it. Kind of brushes it off and makes it seem a little bit more unimportant, which I think is super triggering to Peggy, because we're gonna see it later in the episode. She's got some flashbacks and a little bit of traumas around not being able to play sports.
Yeah, I feel like that's common for like Peggy's whole character. Like the last thing, and you can see it in Hank's character when they interact. you can't tell Peggy she can't do something, because she is going to ass backwardsly somehow prove you wrong at some point. But it's a
Stubborn.
it's
Very, very stubborn character, but in a
yes.
good way,
Yes.
usually. But quick diatribe. It is cool that like sports are a little bit more like, I don't know,
Inclusive.
aware of these things now. Yeah, particularly just gonna be a climbing nerd here for a second. Uh, every girl climber I know climbs way fucking harder than me. It's cool that there's like sports out there where things are a little bit more like, I don't know, there's just a little bit more parity there, you know.
Yeah.
So cool shit, man.
Yeah, I think this is dope too, just because like it goes back to like we talked about, I think last episode, with the son that got away. Like Hank, or not Hank, Bobby and Connie are so like idyllically preteen right now. Like everything is still kind of innocent. Like no, she, even Connie is really not even, I'm not saying that she shouldn't prove herself, but she's not even really trying to prove herself. She just wants to wrestle. She's not like trying to make a big statement and shit. She just wants to do it to have fun. And Bobby's like also wants to have fun with his friend.
Yeah.
So it's like it's wholesome all around.
So yeah, and just to like move back into the episode a little bit, we have all the different sports instructors trying to sell the kids on their clubs and such. I love the like basketball coach is such a weird dude. His pitch is, you should choose basketball because it's the only sport where you can bounce a ball. The quote I have here is, why choose basketball? It's the only sport where you get to bounce a ball. Bounce a ball in football, that's a fumble. Can't bounce a ball in baseball. Bounce a ball in hockey, that's a mandatory drug test right there. I died with that.
I didn't catch that. That's funny, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then we have the wrestling coach who always yells stuff. He's trying to sell people on wrestling, guaranteeing you a spot on the team and jackets.
Only talks in 5-word or less sentences. Yeah. And then we get classic Bobby. Bobby is his interest is piqued by A, free jacket with silver piping, and B, he can just get on the team by going there. He doesn't have to really try. So Bobby's in, and so is Connie.
Let me just say, he's a smart dude for that. I mean, like, work not hard as much as you can. Like, for God's sakes, like you all should find jobs where you're not stressing. Like, it's the way to live life. In any case, yeah, Bobby and Connie are stoked on the situation. Peg kind of gives her speech on general sports, which is maybe starting to be not as exciting as I think she had hoped.
It's generally boring and terribly maintained. The girls have all of the deflated basketballs and like no working equipment. It's they
I don't
go on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I don't think it's like that far off of maybe the times, right, where like folks are maybe treating like girls sports with a little bit less respect. I think that's something that's like definitely I've seen change in my lifetime, which is like super rad and good.
Yeah,
but
no, you're definitely right. I will say, like, especially in Texas, like Texas is huge for high school football and like stuff like that. Like there are high school football stadiums that I have seen driving around Texas that are like bigger than the FAU college stadium. Like, it's crazy. I mean, maybe not that big, but still, they're on TV in Texas and stuff like that. It's very big to the state culture and stuff. So I can definitely see, especially from the way my grandma's talked about like growing up in Texas and everything, like them just being like, oh, like it's not football, okay, then like we don't give a shit.
Yeah, totally. So we have the kids breaking out into groups in our next sequence. And I think the wrestling coach is a super funny character in this episode. We kind of see him in bits throughout the series. But again, yeah, just those 5-word sentences. He asks a kid to volunteer for him. And he tells everybody, this is a single leg attack, and he grabs this like child, this very clearly like 2 foot tall child.
With
He's
both
like, what are you gonna do,
hands.
big man? You gonna dump me? You're gonna pin me? This'll teach you to pull a knife on me. Hard to stab a guy when you're hopping around, huh, Hoppy? And it's just like, oh man, like he's clearly like talking to his ex-wife to this like 10-year-old boy.
Dude, yeah,
And,
that shit was like also made me think like, is he the teacher in the self-defense class in like that Bobby episode? But I don't.
yeah, I think he actually might be,
because that just
come
sounds
back
like
to
he's
it,
teaching a self-defense class.
Yeah, yep. And then we, like you mentioned, we have the cut to the girls' team, and they're like criminally underfunded. Like their equipment is shit. Peg is doing a blow and then throw rhythm with a deflated basketball. Super sad. Meanwhile, we have Bobby's wrestling career starting, and he approaches Hank and the gang. He's really stoked that he's on the wrestling team. Hank is stoked. The gang is stoked for Hank that Hank has a son who's playing sports, which is somehow, I guess, a measure of Hank's success as a parent. Let's see here. And we also have a cut to Peg and Dooley waiting outside the principal's office. Dude, all of the Dooley interactions are so good. Dooley
Women's
is like,
sports are dumb.
Yeah.
So
we have Dooley like, what are you here for? Like just talking to Peg, and Peg gives this like long-winded speech on how women's sports are not funded properly. And in classic Dooley fashion, we just have him responding with, I peed in some kid's locker.
And then
man,
I believe
every character in the show is just like so unapologetically themselves. It's so cool.
I believe like we don't even go to the principal's office this time. Mm-hmm. She just outright gets denied. And then I believe that's where Peggy has her flashback right after this. Yeah. And it cuts to a small tiny Peggy, little baby Peggy, with a little bob cut and her little overalls, fucking hitting a ball out of the park. And then you hear the coach ask, "Hey, little girl, can you run?" And she's like, "Yes, sir." And she's like, "All right, well, run over and get some soda pop for these boys. They're playing hard." Hands her a $1 bill, and then flashback ends, and you can see where the rage is coming from now.
Yeah, totally. And even Hank is dismissive of her because he's like, "Oh, we should get some soda pop for Bobby's practice."
Yeah, boys love that shit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we still have Peg and the girls using the blow then throw method. And Bobby and Connie are shooting the shit at the Gatorade cooler, right?
Yeah.
And we have this really cool I mean, not really cool, but like it's becoming more and more abundant that like Bobby is on an actual funded sports team and Connie is like, "Oh no, ours kind of sucks." But she does ask Bobby about pile drivers. We have some like foreshadowing into real wrestling that we'll see later in the episode. And Bobby shows Connie a couple of moves, and it turns out Connie's already a better wrestler. He's like, "Oh, you can't get out of this," and she just slips right out. Like
he's like, "You didn't use real wrestling. If you was using real wrestling, you couldn't do that." But yeah, we see Bobby already buying into it a little bit.
For sure. I mean, he's realizing, he's kind of like playing into the misogynistic pieces of the shit, which is like kind of a bummer. But I think he thinks his skin is on the line, as we'll see here in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So I think after this is when we cut to the Super Newsom phones, because basically Peggy tells Connie that she can play whatever she wants, and she can do
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
sport she
The girls'
wants.
sports team more or less gets chopped by the other coaches.
Yeah.
And we have Connie or Peggy. I think goes to the Supernusophones first, trying to sell them on it. And we get to see Connie's smarts as a character here, where she pitches it to the parents as an extracurricular activity, and she knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. She is playing them like a fiddle at like 10, 11 years old.
Oh yeah, and also this like another theme that comes around in a different episode later. It's funny as shit. The way she's like, I speak 3 languages. I have like a 4.5 GPA or whatever. Like, how am I gonna stick out? And then there's an episode later, and I think like season 5, where Khan and Min just kind of give up and become rednecks, and it's like ends up being used as a reason to get Connie into a graduate program or something or a high school graduate program or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just get a whole cool subplot of Khan and Min living like rednecks and having mullets and literally driving an El Camino. So good.
I'm excited for that episode. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, we end up having a situation where the Supernusophones go to the principal with Peggy. They have kind of devised a plan to get Connie into wrestling, and to kind of counterbalance that, the wrestling coach is like, all right, we got to make a cut. If that's the case, we're gonna have to have tryouts.
Which is obviously just pointed at, what's it called? Pointed at Bobby or Peggy, because he also great line when they're meeting the principal. He's like, "That's your son?" And it's like, "Yeah, good job, dude. You've solved the mystery of putting 2 last names together." Like, I think that's a line from Khan. It's so good.
Yeah. So again, we do have the cuts happening, and Bobby is clearly stressed because he is the one on the chopping block, and we have Bobby approaching the gang, saying like, I'm nervous. I don't know what to do, and Hank basically comes up with a situation of, so we have Connie and Bobby training at the same time, right? Hank's solution: put the boy on a wet carpet. If you can get out of a wet carpet,
make him explode.
Which is such a Hank Hill approach to the situation. He clearly doesn't know dick all about wrestling.
He basically
out of a wet carpet.
Yeah, he basically waterboards Bobby in the front lawn with a wet carpet and a lawn hose.
Yeah,
and then
we have Connie training out of a textbook, which is probably not going well either on her end, because she's just taking notes, watching her mom and Luann wrestle, while Bill watches and eats pudding. And Bill has a weird allusion to pudding wrestling earlier in the episode, which is kind of strange, but
it's just Bill being Bill, I guess.
Yeah. So I also like the line from Dale when we have Bobby interacting with the gang here. Co-ed sports has been the number 2 priority of the international feminite agenda. Number 1 priority, co-ed bathrooms.
And that'll
day in hell before we institute that in the Gribble household.
I know me and Greg were talking about that line because we were just like, holy shit, like what does Joseph and Dale's bathroom in the Gribble house look like? It's just cigarettes and crumpled up tissue paper. Like,
yeah, it's gotta smell like just like jizz and cigarette butts. Ugh.
But yeah, and what's it called? Sorry.
This is the awkward live part that y'all are getting, just us umming and on top of each other, because we're awkward fucking humans. So are you, probably. You should own it.
Thanks for watching.
So yeah, tryouts are actually officially a thing, and they're announcing the verses, and we have Supernussophone versus Hill, mano el mano, and Peggy has to choose between Bobby and Connie. Clearly, Peggy is very conflicted about the situation.
Min is not. Min is just like, choose Connie. Choose Connie.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not choose Connie? Why Bobby? Just choose Connie. You should really choose Connie. You know.
Yep. And we also have the kids at school start bullying Connie because she wants to wrestle. Like the episode does kind of like pick up and speed up a little bit quickly here, but like we've said a million times, 22-minute episodes. What are you gonna do? Peggy is like super conflicted about the situation, and dude, let me tell you, I think someone in the chat was mentioning Peggy might be the best character. Drunk Peggy might be the best character. She is completely just herself and unhinged in a really cool way. She's just like fucking cracking beers and like knocking balls at the I don't even know what they call those. Are they pitching machines?
Yeah, batting cage, yeah.
Batting cage, yeah. It goes to show you how much I played sports growing up. But yeah, she's just being drunk, and I love that like the end sequence of that is just like it runs out of balls and she's just smashing the cage like, man, more quarters.
So
and yeah,
very
drunk
very
Peggy's just like way cooler.
yeah, dude, just very very much it like that is essence of Peggy Hill, you know. No veneer.
We have the same like sequence next of Connie and Bobby doing their little window adorable preteen love communication, and we have a little bit of foreshadowing here. So Bobby just kind of waves, and I think I don't know if you've seen this before, but I feel like that's like a common Flash tattoo of like Bobby sad and waving.
Yeah. I don't know if that could be the scene. I'll have to go back and look.
There's one where he's doing a devil horn like that as well that I see tattooed quite a bit.
I think that's like I don't think that's from the show. I think somebody redrew his hand to do that. But
yeah, I think that might be the cutout and then like redrawing of the hand maybe.
Interesting.
In any case, so we have Bobby looking down at his wrestling video game, and we're like, "Ooh, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna do some wrestling or some real wrestling?" And then we lead up to the Bobby Connie match, and we have both parties getting a pep talk from their respective teams. We have Khan telling Connie to you take down old playmate fast, and mom capture on video. We sent to Harvard for application.
Dude, that's fuck. It's so funny.
Yeah, I feel a little bad doing a Khan impression, but we're gonna let it ride. Whatever.
Yeah. Well.
Excuse me.
And then
so
what's it
we
called?
have Hank to Bobby saying, you know, I know everyone's been filling your head with all sorts of stuff, but I want you to know this. Connie killed your frog.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I love Hank's solution here, where he's just like, little lie to make Bobby explode. You know?
Yeah, no, dude. What's it called? I will say that like when Hank gets competitive, he kind of throws all of his ethics out of the window in every episode we've seen so far, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, for sure. So the match starts, and Bobby and Connie clearly know what they're doing. You know, they lock arms. They're getting ready. The crowd is hyped. This is the fucking headlining match, you know? And Bobby does a backbreaker on her. For anyone who's like not familiar with wrestling, it's where you like hold someone over your head and bring their back over your knee, and it looks really gruesome. So the crowd like loses their shit, and we just like it kind of just transitions into this awesome montage of like classical music while they do like WWE style
wrestling. Yeah. And you even get Connie just being like, I want to go to a party school, Chico State. Yeah.
Yeah. She gets knocked in front of the camera and like ruins the like Harvard application footage. So
but then literally 2 seconds later, both the Hills and the Super Newsom phones are just like, fuck yeah, kill him. Like throw him on the ground and shit.
So the crowd is so into it. We had like, I don't know. I do want to go through some of the highlights of this montage.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. You know, the coach is like upset. He's like, that's not Olympic style wrestling. And we have the bully kid that's like, no, that's real wrestling.
I just
fucking-
noticed real quick, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
Every bully in Bobby's life has nasal problems.
Yeah. They
They all
definitely did outline the bullies well.
Yeah,
At the
like-
same time, I feel like the bullies aren't always overtly bullies. I feel like they're like conditional bullies. You know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I forget who the blonde kid is. I don't remember his name. He comes way or more into the series
He
later.
might even be like unnamed.
No, he's in
honestly.
other episodes, like 100%.
I know he's in other episodes, but I feel like I've never heard his name.
True, but we all know Dooley.
Dooley's famous. We should get some Dooley merch too.
Yeah, dude. Let's get a sweet play-by-play of this fucking match to end all
so
matches.
we have Connie. I know the podcast listeners won't be able to see this. I'm gonna do some visual shit, but like we have Connie pointing her two fingers at like Bobby, and like the kid's like, oh, she's zombified him, and like he's like, you know, leaning into it as well. The crowd is like losing their shit while they're throwing each other around. One of the kids is like, oh, that's gotta hurt. Bobby like splashes some ketchup on his face, you know, to make it seem like fake blood.
The one of
And,
the
like-
one times you can tell that Bobby's voice actor is like a adult woman, because that initial shriek, you're just like, oh, that's either a prepubescent boy or an old woman, adult woman.
Yep. And I don't know, I just put here that it was just like such good character development. Like I love the little interaction between the kids. Like they're clearly like they've outsmarted the adults here, you know, like they're just being like cute. They have found a solution to like the stupid like political no gender debate on you know, whether or not girls can play sports, and they're just like, no, we're just here to have fun. And
Yeah.
it just closes out in a really wholesome way like that. I love that episode.
No,
Maybe
it's
because I've had it burned into my brain, but
I will say, the more that we talk about it and like how like we keep saying wholesome, I gotta figure out a different fucking word. But it's very, very family friendly. It's very like endearing, you know. Like like I said, I think Bobby and Connie interactions are some of my favorite, just because it's like genuinely makes you feel good. It's not like them making satire or making fun of the kids at all. It's like preteens are weird and awkward like that, so they write it really well.
Yeah, and it definitely like, again, like just like seeing like romance of the time definitely like makes me like reminisce of my like childhood and adolescence, and like how I tried to like interact with people in like romantic fashion back then. It was awkward and dorky, and like I think they portray it in a really accurate way, and in a way that like also doesn't really feel creepy to me. At least.
No, it's like they do a good job of keeping all the creepy shit from adolescence exclusively on Joseph's character and not really on Bobby's.
Totally. I think that's all we have for actual King of the Hill content this week. Yeah.
That's gonna be I would say we can call the actual episode on that. But we're gonna hang out and drink some more brews and chill.
Cool.
Yeah, I will say to everybody that is watching now, I said it while you were gone, Justin, but this is like this is 100% the most people I've ever had on my stream or my channel ever. So this is so fucking cool. Like, I'm mad.
Yeah, dude.
Like, excited that like our friends, like my friends, everybody like who's been listening and saw our posts and stuff. I know this is the first time we're doing it and it's small, but it's super fucking cool to see you guys here.
Yeah, we do this for fun. We enjoy that you guys enjoy it. But like really, I think something we've maybe made clear as much as we could is just like we don't really, you know, we just want to have a good time. Like we don't care super hard about the quality of things. Like, I mean, we try our best for sure, but like as long as we're having a good time, we're gonna keep doing this.
We can close out on a good metaphor. Not cut this part up. Not that we're leaving for the stream. I just want to have this audio for the podcast, but got the good metaphor of our podcast is the Supanusin phone versus Hill match of podcasts. It's fun. It's kind of pre-planned, and everybody likes it. It's a good time. It's easy to watch. It's easy to enjoy.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're supposedly likable people, but I don't know.
I've been
We go back
told.
and forth on that some days.
All right, man. Well, Jake, this is beer number 3 now that we're officially in Alamo and chill mode. But let's see.
Yeah, are y'all drinking with us? What's everybody drinking in chat?
Yeah. Okay, Jake, what you drinking? I know you got some fucking. He's like you, Justin. He be drinking some real hip brews and shit.
Some nice shit.
He's trying,
dude. I've been trying to not buy nice bottles of Pacificos.
Oh, Pacifico is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pacifico's fire. I like Pacifico.
What is it?
It's kind of like Modelo. It's a little closer to like a Corona, but I think it's better than Corona. IMO.
I've been trying really hard to not buy a nice bottle of whiskey now that I'm like making money again, because I know the money's just gonna leave my bank account just from fucking existing, you know. So trying to not be super frivolous.
Well, here,
buy,
let me hold on. I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Yeah. Invest in your happiness. I don't know, man. Is happiness half a bottle deep into Japanese whiskey? I don't know. I go back and forth on that too. I guess you got to chase the good brain chemicals where you can, but good God, at some point you gotta call it. Good moderation. Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're buying a nice whiskey, you know, you can definitely like justify just sipping on it, you know.
It's a Aberfeldy Scotch whiskey.
I haven't heard of that one. Is it single malt?
Let's see. I have no fucking clue. I'm not usually a Scotch guy.
Is it a Scotch?
Yeah, mellowed for 12 years in handmade oak casks, product of Scotland.
Chug it.
Chug it. Well, no, dude, I felt bad because he got this, oh shit. Carlos, I'm not chugging this. Literally, I have to play D&D with you in like 3 hours. I'm not trying to get fucking hammered beforehand. But, yeah, it's pretty nice, but it's really good with green tea, dude. Fucking,
that's a little weird. I haven't fucked with that at all.
I don't like Scotch. I'm a bourbon guy, so Scotch really be fucking with me.
Have you had like good Scotches though? Like, have you had like a 20-year Scotch? Like, I feel like with any alcohol, once you get to like a certain level of like quality, it's just all fucking good, you know?
I don't know. I think actually yes, I've had Johnny Walker Blue Label, and then I've had what else was it? Something that I can't remember the name of it, but it was like at that caliber. It was like another $300 a bottle whiskey that my friend's dad had on New Year's, and that like we got to try out.
That's sick.
Also. Yeah, exactly, George. I'm fancy liquor, cheap beer. That's how you should prioritize your alcohol spending. But dude, those Suntory or like the Hibiki like Japanese whiskeys are.
Ooh, Hibiki Harmony, so fucking good, dude. That's a great whiskey.
That's the last bottle I bought. But let's see. So. Now that we got some of my crew in here, I think it would be kind of cool. My buddy, I'm gonna put the graphic up. My buddy Sage Williams just put out an album. Put it up top there. And while we're just chilling, I'm gonna play some of it in the background. If you guys
here for Justin, thanks, Jake. Good to know I have fans. Oh man, a bunch of people just tuned in. What's up, boys?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm on the fuck graph chain.
Bro, what?
But
What? This is my channel. I'll stop the stream right now. I promise.
oh yeah, actually he's doing all the production. Don't be too mean to graph.
But yeah, we got some Greg stuff playing in the back for y'all.
Nice. You got funny friends, guy.
Dude, I mean, dude, his shit's pretty fucking dope. I've been listening to, what's it called? Been listening to his album because it came out like a week ago or so. But I wanted to I shouted him out beforehand, like on like 3 or 4 episodes ago. But now that it's out, I figured I'd be like, let's get homies some listens. But
yeah, man, it's cool to have homies that are like doing cool music shit. I feel like I'm always trying to shout out the boys. I mean, like Casey, I feel like he has like so many fucking projects right now. He doesn't do Rocko English anymore, but whenever he puts out cool records, y'all will be hearing about it.
I know. I was about to say, does he have anything recorded? Because I would love to have his.
He just did I mean, like Rocko English is all on Spotify.
I forgot he was in. So anybody that is here that isn't from Florida or specifically from the Orlando area, Rocko English, they named their band after that realtor that has billboards on every bus stop, right?
Insurance salesman.
Yeah. His name's Rocko English, and he is literally on every fucking bus stop in Orlando, like almost every single one, especially around UCF. Like, it's crazy. But I just put those together that his band was named after that those advertisements.
Yeah. Also, that I may have talked about it on the podcast before. I don't remember. But have I told you about like my first interaction with Casey?
No.
Okay. Really good interaction. So I met. So these are the 2 people I live with, Dempsey and Casey. Homies with Dempsey before I was homies with Casey, and Dempsey was like, "Oh, you should come to my partner's show. You guys would get along." And I had known about Rocko English for a minute. My old roommate and I were both DIY boys, and we were like, "Oh my god, Rocko English! This is the best fucking like Orlando band name we've ever seen, because Rocko English is plastered on every single fucking bus stop in the city." And like, it's to the point where like he is this just really cheesy insurance salesman. He's got like these 2 thumbs up. He's like, "Rocko English," you know, like it just looks like it's like textbook out of like a 3 a.m. advertisement, right? To the point where my friends and I were making jokes about it even before knowing it was a band, right?
Yeah.
And we had listened to Rocko English because we saw they were playing some like festival, and we were just like, "Oh, this fucking blows dicks!" Like we were like, "This is not our thing at all." And I met Casey, and I was like chilling with him and the rest of Rocko English. I was like, "Yeah, Rocko English, best fucking band name I've ever heard, but that band sucks." Like, I didn't know he was in the band, and like, I'm so glad, you know, of all the people I could have said that to, like, Casey is like the best person, because he just wants people to be like honest with music, right?
Dude, I will say, Casey is like, I was so fucking happy when I came to Colorado, and you were like, "Yeah, come crash with me," because usually when I was traveling for work, if I was crashing with my friends, and they had roommates, I like kind of felt like I was intruding. But Casey, cool ass dude. Let's see real quick. I saw in the chat that they want to see. I'm gonna stop my Audacity recording. I totally
real
forgot.
quick, just to finish that story. So Casey just like leans super hard into like, "Yeah, Rocko English blows dicks," and like then they play, and I'm like, "Oh shit, Casey's in Rocko English."
Oh my god, no, the poor boy.
It was just a major douche chills moment, but again, just like would not want to have that interaction with anyone else, but it ended up being really good. I don't know, we're homies now, you know,
for sure. I did see in the chat. Let's see. The boys want to see what we think about Hank Trill.
Oh dude, I love some Hank Trill.
Okay, let's see if I can get this on here.
I have a funny Hank Trill story also.
I straight up have never listened to Hank Trill, so give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna take a leak, and then we're gonna hop on this shit because I want to hear it.
Yeah, so how I found out about Hank Trill is I do like COVID work for one of the community colleges over here, and there was someone with the last name Strickland, and I was like, oh, dude, you ever watch King of the Hill? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And like we kind of like had like a little like moment of bonding over the phone about it, and he was like, you got to look up Hank Trill right now. So after I got off the phone, I tossed that on in the background while I was doing some work, and like, I don't know, man, it was really cool to see. Some man with the last name Strickland told me about it. Sorry, boys, I have no control over the music volume. I am simply a passenger in this vehicle. Anyone do anything cool this weekend? Or y'all lame like us? This is bullshit. Graph has all the power. It's fucked up.
What?
Everyone's saying you need to give me remote access to your desktop so I can mess with production. That's what I've heard. And,
Dude, yo, I'll gladly give it over to everybody. If we hit 15 viewers again, Justin's in charge, bro. Start the hype train. But let's see, Hank Trill, we got Propane Money, Propane Profit, King of the Trap, Bobby Diss Track, and Propane Money 2. Which one are we doing?
Everyone's saying you need to turn up the music, Graph.
I don't have the music on yet. So, that's probably the issue with that. But, let's see.
Oh, we got some cool little lag going. We got some weird stuff happening. This is
I know. I was like, fuck. Alright, we're doing number 2. Propane Money number 2.
Metro Boom, Howard.
I got a plan in my head, so let's
got
go.
me hella bank. Now my diamonds looking rarer than my steak. Propane money, keep it in a safe. If you talking out your ass, I pop out with this 38. Propane tanks got me hella bank. Now my diamonds looking rarer than my steak. Propane money, keep it in a safe. If you talking out your ass, I'll pop out with this 38.
Bitches Dale, I belong in jail. Measuring this coke on the triple beam scale. I don't use a triple beam, only measure by the kilo. One clip, 12 dead, I ain't gotta reload. Motherfuckers like to treat me like a god till I turn into a demon when I
Okay, this dude doing Dale is like not quite as good as the Hank.
No, the fucking the line though is good. His verse is
Yeah.
good.
Propane money, keep it in a safe. If you talking out your ass, I'll pop out with this 38. Propane tanks got me hella bank. Now my diamonds looking rarer than my steak. Propane money, keep it in a safe. If
This
you
is
talking
wild,
out your ass,
dude.
I'll
Holy
pop out
shit.
with this 38. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, it's like well produced
Combat
too,
gun
which
bang,
is
propane man, top out with that
crazy.
gun man, go pew 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 at your fucking brain man. Shotgun go hook man, you know what I'm saying, man? Talking about got bang 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 shit man, Hank Trill man, talking about got Hank Boom Howard, Metro Boom Howard man. What the fuck was that? Man, let me show you how it's done. Propane tanks got me hella bank. Now my diamonds looking rarer than my steak.
Dude, this is so fucking good. Like, this is so much better than I thought it would be.
I'm gonna bump this on the way to work.
Hey,
Which one we got? We
I
got.
just spilled lean on my carpet. Yeah. Fuck Bobby, he a bitch, he get no hoes. No money,
God
no
dang.
fans, he a broke hoe.
Better than
Hope he
Elden Ring.
gets
Damn
kissed
straight.
out by a chomo.
I don't know, I've been hearing good
Always
things about
watching porn on that
Elden Ring.
Google
That
Chrome.
shit looks
Hey,
like a
fuck
video
Bobby.
game ass video game.
Oh my god, the fucking Bobby diss track starts out so good. I don't know if you heard that. Oh my god. Carlos, yeah, this
What
is
the
better
fuck
than
song
Kanye's
was
new
it?
shit. 100%. I haven't listened to it, but I'm not a big Kanye fan. But
Got a lot of homies viewing in here.
yeah, thank you
I'm
guys.
surprised people are hanging out. Haters.
I know, we had like literally nothing planned to like fucking do after we were done recording, so this is thanks for sticking with us so far. But yeah, let's see.
You want to play the Bobby diss track?
Yeah, I'm gonna play the Bobby.
It shows fuck you, Jake. Let's see you do better.
Whoa, hey, fuck
Yeah.
Bobby, bitch.
Fuck Jake,
Sometimes you
bitch.
gotta,
Fuck Bobby,
sometimes you gotta
bitch.
turn on the crowd to win them back.
Fuck Bobby,
You know?
bitch.
The Bill Burr bit where
Why you
like
kick me in the
he's literally
motherfucking
like
nuts,
playing
huh?
in Philly,
I'ma kick your
and like
motherfucking
the
ass,
crowd is
son,
like
bitch.
booing him
I'ma
off
pop out with
stage,
the Draco, boy.
and he's just like, yeah, fuck you, asshole, and he's just like going in on the crowd, just like being a total dick to them, and like that's how he turns it around. It's like one of the most admirable pieces of crowd work I think I've ever seen.
Fuck Bobby here, bitch. He gets no hoes.
Oh.
I froze. Oh no.
I fixed it. This, Carlos, you should know my computer's kind of struggling right now, recording, streaming, recording audio, and then doing a video chat. And then God knows what you're doing on the other side of our apartment, playing Divinity, ripping illegal things off the internet. For shame. This is your fault.
Yeah, go ahead and pull the plug, Carlos. I got shit to do.
Well, I'm gonna have myself a one sip of whiskey. Why not?
Go for it, man. Go for it.
How much? Or not that I'm trying to rush off or anything, but how much longer are you trying to stay on the stream? Do you have other stuff you gotta do today, or?
I have like a meeting in the evening, but I'll be not drunk by then, so
Fuck yeah.
that doesn't matter.
Let me see. The things I do on my computer could make God blush. Good God, Carlos.
Yeah, yikes, Carlos. You might want to. If you're on a VPN.
I am. So we don't technically live together. They can't prove it.
Alcoholism ASMR. I'm not normally a day drinker, but yeah, drinking is tight.
Drinking's
Good.
hella tight. Fucking, what's it called? Out of my IP. You can't even do that. I'm back tracing you. Okay, Carlos, don't even mess like that. Consequences will never be the same. If anybody was a old school internet kid, fucking.
Graf, how do you sit so fucking still on a stream? I feel like I'm like squirming over here constantly, and you're just like looking at the camera, maintaining your cool.
I'm squirming a lot as well. I feel like you just might not be noticing it, but
maybe. I feel like I was always doing that because like I had a couple of like Zoom classes for this like graduate program I've been in, and I've always felt like mega douchey, but like my back is always like tight as fuck because I'm always exercising it, and like I have like a Theracane I would grab and just like start working in the middle of class, and it always felt like mega douchey, but like also like I don't know, man, back relief is nice.
Yeah. No, I had the worst computer chair ever up until a couple months ago when Carlos sold me this one, which has made a giant difference in... Yeah, Carlos, you're right. Yeah, it's made a giant difference because I've been increasingly spending more time at my desk, sitting, waiting.
The secret that the gaming industry doesn't want to tell you is gamer chairs are actually dog shit, and what you need if you're a real crusty motherfucker.
Wait, move your head. I think we have the same chair.
I have the X chair, man. I spent a lot of fucking money on this thing.
Oh, okay. I did not. I spent like $50-$70 on it.
But having an ergonomic chair with like adjustable arms, adjustable back, because like we all got different bodies.
I got that
is
lumbar.
super key.
Because my
yeah, man. Mine like moves with my back a little bit if I'm sitting right. Like if I'm here for a couple hours, like it's big, man. Like I actually have like decent posture when I'm like paying attention to it. It's possible.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the old man corner where we're talking about our packs now.
Dude, truly. I mean, like,
do you guys
do you
wanna
wake up some days? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you want to watch some YouTube poops, some King of the Hill YouTube poops?
I'm down.
Okay, tell your story while I figure out how to do this.
Yeah, sure. I was just gonna ask if you ever wake up having injured yourself. That's something that's been happening as I get further and further into my 20s, where like literally woke up the other day and been like, oh shit, like I can't do activities because I slept on my arm wrong and it hurts. It feels like I pulled something.
Yes, especially because I have like 2 broken ribs that like just never healed right. So sometimes I'll just fall asleep, and I'll wake up, and then for like 2 or 3 days I'm just like, fuck, it hurts to breathe. Carlos,
We love American healthcare here.
Ryan's neck thickness allows him to maintain the same position for hours at a time. He needs some neck thickening, neck reddening bone broth. Fuck off, dude. Holy shit.
Jeez.
That's... God damn it, Carlos. Alright, let's see. I can play this. Let me...
Graph, just go ahead and send me the link of whatever YouTube shits you pulling up. That way I'll
got
just
you.
hit play. Because we're React streamers now. Apparently, we're going with the Twitch meta. We're here to
Hey, dude, might as fucking well.
make content on content.
Let's see. Okay. So let's see. Should be good. Let me share it with you real quick, and then... Let me know when you got it up, and I'll get it started, bud.
Count me in, brother.
Alright.
On go or on one?
I already started, sorry. Alright.
Oh.
Ready, set, go. I've watched this so many times from when I was in high school.
I tell you, I hate Nancy. It's a beautiful day. Yay.
Sunday.
Sunday.
And Saturday. It's the 9th annual Dallas Mower Expo. Be there as the biggest names in mowers, hedgers, and clippers on hedgers and clippers on hedgers and clippers on Sunday. Cutting technology. Sea King. Oil painting, Sea King. Don't miss the Dallas Mower Expo.
Damn. Dale's looking fucking fit here.
He's got them broad shoulders.
That doesn't count, men. I guess I win again.
Boy, Aunt Peg, the words I don't know could fill a dick. You know, the Elks are having a boggle tournament to raise bail money for their treasurer. Maybe you should enter.
Boggle.
Boggle.
All right, Peggy, I replaced my watch battery, ate a Cinnabon, and bought a
B-trap.
I can't kill any more time. Let's go.
Time. It is only round 5.
Let's go.
They kept the episode pretty much the same thing, you know. It's just a little more trippy.
Boggle.
Oh, little sick boy. Would you like for me to find your name in the next boggle? Boggle. Okay.
Boy, that wife of yours is pretty good. I guess that's why they call her your better.
Who calls her that?
Hey, you want to be my coach?
A boggle, coach? What would I do?
Well, Hank, you don't have to do anything. You just have to get up
Be
there.
there.
Unless you want me to go off to Dallas by myself.
Dallas?
Dallas Salad.
Crackheads and debutantes. Sunday! Guess who's going to the mower show? Well,
Boy, how'd you manage to swing that? Boy, Peggy, we like mowers.
simple. I found a boggle tournament
Sin
in
is
Dallas to
simple.
keep her busy while we have some real fun. Check it out, man. Talk about a road trip up that Big D motel. Hell, man. You talk about the biggest names in mowers, edges, and clippers. Be there. Man, it's gonna be fun.
Fuck.
Let's go, Peggy.
I'm so glad that I finally get to show this to you. This has like been one of my favorite fucking YouTube videos since like I was in high school.
Dude, what a great episode.
You look like you could use a wallet. Would
You
you like
like
to
a
be
wallet?
Harley Davidson.
Now, Hank is not just my husband. He is also my coach.
Oh, well then you'll be needing one of these.
That's me drinking water
You
before
listen to
bed.
me.
Your name is Hank Hill. Mr. Hank Hill. Peggy married me. I didn't marry her.
What are you?
Why, Carol, it's this difference guy.
Okay, the guy at Home Depot said all we gotta do is strip,
sand, varnish, buff, varnish, wax.
varnish, wax, sand, buff, buff, buff. Oh, God. No! That was close.
The fucking Metal Gear Solid
I see
theme that
myself
is
in the
gonna
winner's
play in a
circle,
second
and
is so
you
good.
are right there next to me, my coach, my big ass man.
Dang.
Winner! Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby! Baby want a bottle? A big dirt bottle?
Why are you yelling at me?
You're a loser!
Look, I can't afford any more screw-ups. I just spent my last dollar on deodorizing carpets.
Look at old Boomhauer.
Hey, dang, some pick up that dang old rock. Man, this dang old piece. Dang old fuck. There, that. I ain't got no fingers!
All right, going to be best of 3. I want a clean game. No foreign words. No foreign objects. Shake.
Hank, yeah.
Peggy Hill is down to her last
Pencil.
She has no more
Pencil.
pencils in reserve. Pencil.
This is awful. I think it's all over for Peggy Hill.
Her fucking teeth right now, dude.
let's
I
show
forgot
how
that
we
she
play
bites it off, or
boggle
the.
Whatever you say, coach.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Pencil.
Peggy Hill was riding up a storm, but will it be enough?
I win.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be! Boggle?
Silly shit.
Oh my god. Oh well, that's the you guys got the react that you wanted. Okay, you guys got the meta. We watched YouTube poop. We talked about the episode. We drank. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, man, we went through my bullshit in the beginning.
What about chat? We got any more requests from you guys, or because I got one more shot in the cup, so I could hang out for a couple more minutes, but it's up to y'all.
I can definitely hang, but also we've been streaming for like 2 hours now, dog.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. I usually try to do 4, but I'm gonna be back on.
Yeah, when you're gaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing D&D here soon. So, but I guess you know what? We'll just do a real quick outro, and I will say thank you to Jake, thank you to Carlos, thank you to George. Thank you to Anthony, all my buddies that came in, and thank you to everybody else that watched. Like, holy shit, like I said, this was way more people than I've ever had on my channel or in the chat. So it was like super fucking cool, and we hope to make this like a weekly, bi-weekly thing, depending on when we're recording and stuff. So we'll keep you posted as long as you guys follow us on the Instagram, the ITYH pod.
We famous now.
You can get canceled.
I'm already fucking canceled, Carlos. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, actively, like, Carlos and I have a good Russia-U.S. relationship, not to use too much of a on-the-head current thing, but I live with him, so if he gets if I get canceled, he gets canceled too. We're both going down. It's that mutually assured destruction. Man. I'm not rich anymore. You know for a fact I don't have a job right now.
Def not Russia in this situation. Oh, so you're the U.S. You're the other imperialist force, Carlos.
For shame.
Wow.
For shame. You're not even.
All right.
But yeah, we'll get out. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out.
I'm gonna be on later to play D&D on the same channel if you guys want to check it out. And then Justin.
Yeah, just quick little outro credits. I don't even know if this will make it into the podcast or not. I'm still recording, but we'll see.
I definitely stopped my recording like a while ago. So.
Yeah, whatever the case. Arizona Landmine, thank you for letting us use your intro or your song for our intro and outro. Aiden, thank you for drawing our badass logo. Every other content creator I know, every music person, y'all rock. I don't know, fucking shout out to Winded. Shout out to whatever Casey's projects are. Shout out to your boy Sage, doing cool music stuff. Like, homies help homies. Everyone gets plugs.
Yeah, and this, like I said, it is... I thought the 3 people were going to watch our stream. So, like, the fact that we got up to 15 and we're about to finish up and we got 7 is cool as shit to me. So I'm mad fucking happy. So thank you guys again. And we will be back with another episode in about a week. We'll post and make sure you guys know about it before we get it started.
Peace, friends. Thanks for hanging.